What's up, everybody? We're so glad to have you joining us today. Today, we have a very special guest that we're really excited to introduce. This is Michelle Ott. She is a raw vegan health coach, and you can check out her Instagram at Michelle Deborah, as it is on her under her name. And yeah, we just wanted to get her in here, and we're going to ask her some questions to help get you guys understand a little bit more about the raw vegan lifestyle and some of the health benefits and what, if that's something you want to try, if you want to try and do. And she'll give you some resources on how to do that, how to get started, especially. So if you don't mind my asking, to start out, what led you? Because I saw some of your vegan food spreads, and they were just awesome. Like, I was like, this is super, super tasty. And they basically just made me want to convert because they just looked so good. So it's like, I want to know, how did you get into this? Were you always vegan? Did you have a moment that you're like, no, this is the right lifestyle for me?
Yeah, I was really sick. It was not weight loss or anything like that. I was actually really sick for the majority of my life. From 4 to 23, I had asthma. I had a really low immune system, and I had skin histamine issues, like just really big inflammation. If I were to scratch my arm, it would just welt up, or my legs. And no one had any answers for me. I saw a lot of doctors. Most doctors just said, oh, you might just grow out of your asthma or have it for life. They didn't never give me any solution. They just gave me medication.
Yeah.
So my asthma finally kind of stabilized on some pretty extensive corticosteroid medications, which were very expensive, but I just thought we have to take these for life, because if I go off of them, I get asthma, and this is the only way I'm able to function. So then I watched some documentaries. They just kind of came into my awareness. This is actually really powerful about kind of the subconscious, because I think there's several different ways that you can get a message in there. And sometimes it's repetition, and other times it's like a lightning bolt. And this was the lightning bolt moment for me. I watched Forks Over Knives. And it was like, boom, my life was different from that point on. From that point on, my mindset was, this makes so much sense. I'm going to try cutting out animal products. I just did meat at first for maybe the first month or so. And then I was like, I can do dairy. I can do eggs. And my body started to change so much. The inflammation went away. My asthma started going away. I found the connection to why I had asthma which is inflammation, and dairy was causing me to have these really long bouts of cold and flu-like symptoms. And every time I had a cold and flu-like bout, I would get a huge asthma attack on the back end of that. So if I could stop the one, then I could stop the asthma attack. And I was like, this is my key to stopping the chain of reaction of all this stuff happening. So I did it for health at first, and just experienced so many benefits. That was 9 years ago. So I was 23. I'm 31 now. I then, I guess that's how I got started. Then towards the end, about 2 years ago, I was still eating plant-based, and I started slowly adding in those junk food vegan items, because I was pretty heavy plant-based, hygienic, like whole foods, very healthy at the beginning. But then I started adding in, the bar food, the fried vegan burgers, or the French fries, beer out at bars, heavy amounts of peanut butter, just a lot of high fat foods, a lot of junk. And I started seeing my health decline again. And I actually gained a lot of weight, even on vegan and plant-based. And so then that was when, right around the time when I was trying everything I could to lose weight. I was trying to, I would work out 4 times a week, and I was trying to change my diet, and I was trying to eat healthier, but I was like, okay, what else could I do? I'm already eating plant-based. So when I moved and made the transition where I moved to Florida, I was actually able to maintain a raw vegan lifestyle. And with that, 30 pounds just released with ease. I did some herbs along with that, but I just really got my body back and really got my health back again from the weight issue that happened with high fat diet and just a really sluggish liver. even on plant-based, you can eat junk food vegan. It's not going to heal your body in any way. It might for a little bit, but it'll catch up to you. So I got to experience all of that, and I love being able to kind of show people and guide people in the right direction, because you can do it the wrong way, and you're gonna wind up at a bridge you don't want to be at. So that's a little bit about my background and where I'm at today. So now I'm at a healthy weight as a raw vegan, plant-based. I love making raw vegan recipes. My goal, like you said, you saw my page, is to make raw vegan food look amazing so that people aren't turned off by it, because it's already kind of a turn off name, like, oh, you don't cook any of your food and it's all vegan. That doesn't sound good at all. But then picture of what you can eat as a raw vegan, it's like wow, like that's what the whole gourmet chef in me wants to do, is like, let me make this the most delicious looking, amazing meal, because anybody would want to try it. Anybody would want to eat something gourmet and beautiful and delicious and healthy, and it tastes good too. So that's where I got started.
That's awesome. I recommend for our viewers, check out her stuff and look at the one that really got me. Was there was like these cinnamon rolls that I think made with banana, and I was like, I was like, oh, that's so good, and I was like, ooh, gluten-free, raw vegan. I was like, how does it, what? And so I looked at the recipe. Oh, okay. Like it was like, could you tell us about? Do you remember that one? It's like dehydrated banana or something. How's that?
The cinnamon roll. They're such a good. I like to create transition foods and foods that resemble and taste like our normal foods, because a lot of times people won't go into a different world if they have to give up all their pleasures in life. Some people, it's like, okay, my Friday night pizza night is the only thing I have going for me, so I'm not giving that up. But if you have a recipe for how you can make a healthy pizza, whether that's just homemade is even healthier than anything else, but then you could go gluten-free, then you can even make it raw. If you have a dehydrator, you can make basically cooked foods that haven't gotten, I'll explain a little bit about raw, is that everything is heated below the temperature of 118 degrees, and that preserves the enzymes. If you raise the temperature above that, the enzymes die. So the concept is you're eating a very high living diet full of the enzymes that were originally in the plant. So that means a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, of course, but then if you dehydrate things below, I usually do about 115, and I can dehydrate them, and they take a longer amount of time. It's almost like a slow bake oven. It takes longer because it's at a lower temp, but you can reduce the water content and make very cooked foods. You can make like sauteed mushrooms, sauteed asparagus. It tastes the same, but it's just raw and it still has lots of enzymes. So, so with cinnamon rolls, like people want to have foods that resemble. Don't want to give up cinnamon rolls or brownies for life, or pizza, or a barbecue burgers. But I love creating concepts and recipes where I have hundreds of recipes that are those foods, but they're made out of raw fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, mushrooms, fungi, sprouts, and sea vegetables, and they're delicious. Of course, a dessert isn't going to be made out of mushrooms. It's made out of, nuts and seeds and raw cacao powder and raw agave or dates and all of those ingredients that are all extremely good for you. They're dairy-free, they're soy-free, they're gluten-free, they're refined sugar-free, and you can still, and now you're eating a brownie, but it's reacting completely differently in your body than if you were to make a store-bought brownie, add in eggs from a factory farm, throw in dairy that's been processed with the hormones and everything, and then you bake that, and then you eat that. I mean, yeah, they're both brownies, but one is going to do something completely differently in your body than the other one.
Yeah,
but that's a big concept for me, is to not give up your pleasures in life, to have your cake and eat it too. We didn't join this lifestyle to deprive ourselves of abundance and pleasure and life and happiness. It's like, no, I have abundant health and abundant life, and I get to also eat all my favorite foods all the time still.
Yes, and I love this because we are in the first week of our Honor Your Body quest. And this just brings me back to that idea of how many times we think we're honoring our body, but maybe we're really not listening. Maybe what we're feeding our body really isn't resonating with our body. And I love all those tips that make it an easier transition.
Yeah.
The stepping stones to how to keep some of those, the feeling of a burger, the feeling of a cinnamon roll, all of these things. And I highly recommend everybody check out her recipes and, maybe just try a couple of these things, and see how it really resonates with your body. Is that honoring your body? How does your energy feel? Can you feel the difference? And Michelle, what would you say to the people who are listening right now that are just thinking, oh, I'm not quite ready because my weight loss journey has looked like eating paleo. So my whole focus has been, on eating meat and raw fruits and vegetables. And I'm not quite ready to take the raw vegan plunge. What would you say to those people?
Yeah, I would say if it hasn't been working for you, a lot of people feel like they need a change. Some people try paleo or keto and they're like, wow, I felt worse. So what do I do now? And that's when they really stumble into plant-based or raw vegan. And hopefully it's high unprocessed and undenatured foods, instead of like, oh, I can eat. I'm really against the movement that's just like, oh, you can eat vegan for the animals and you can eat all this crap food and kill your body. I mean, okay, yes, you're helping the animals. That's one thing, but you're killing your body. And your body is a species animal. So that doesn't help anyone. So, a lot of people do experience some benefits when they go paleo, because what happens is they do cut out processed foods. They're not eating flours anymore or anything made out of flours. They're typically not eating a bunch of things made out of these highly processed seed oils. They're probably not eating GMO. They've probably cut out, all the processed chips and, fast food. So then your body can do a lot with that. And that's key. And that's very similar to how the raw vegan movement is. The only difference is that one is high meat and the other is no meat, no animal products. But I always tell people, if they're transitioning, to, instead of focusing on what they're not eating, to focus on what they are eating. So I call it the 20 to 30 rule. And I just tell people, try to eat 20 to 30 servings of fruits and vegetables in your day. And people are like, holy cow, that's way too much. That's a lot. That seems insane. But then I break it down. And then if you have, I break it down per meal. And actually, all of this is in a guide. It's in a free weight loss guide in my bio. So I'm going to break it down, though. It's called the 20 to 30 rule. And it's crowding out the bad food. Like, first you have the fruits and vegetables in large quantities. And then if you're still hungry, go ahead and have that piece of pizza or have that cinnamon roll or brownie or piece of cake. But you have the 20 to 30 servings of fruits and vegetables first. And then your body, what that does is it actually changes your consciousness, because you're ingesting the health of the foods. The essence of the foods are going to start changing your palate. They're going to start changing the way you think. They're going to start healing your body. All of those things are going to happen while you're crowding out the bad foods. And then at some point, you're going to get to the point where you eat those things and feel terrible and you just won't want them anymore. But you don't have to force yourself to not eat them while you're still wanting them. So it's a transition period. So you have to kind of know, what is a serving of fruits and vegetables quantity wise? Like, what does that look like practically? So a serving is from I think it's the FDA or the myplate.gov, is a half a cup of fruits or vegetables, or a full cup of greens. Like, if it's leafy greens, it's a full cup. But if it's like apples, bananas, oranges, broccoli, melon, it's a half a cup is one serving. So that's super simple, because if you have a smoothie where you have 2 bananas in there, that's already 4 servings of fruits and vegetables. You throw in a cup of blueberries, a cup of blueberries, that's another 2 servings of fruits and vegetables. So you already have 6 servings of fruits and vegetables. And then if you throw in 2 or 3 cups of spinach, there you go, you add in 3 more. So you have 6, 7, 8, 9. So you have your breakfast, which is just a smoothie, super simple. It's only going to fill up a quart jar. You drink that. And that's 9 servings. So your breakfast is covered, like you're good. And then if you want to eat snacks between breakfast and lunch, that's fine, because at lunch you're going to eat more fruits and vegetables than at dinner. You're going to do the same thing. So then my example for lunch would be, especially if you're traveling into work and you're commuting, bring a large salad. It's pretty easy to fit in, like for a meal, like 7 cups of lettuce, or 7 cups of cabbage or whatever, that's your base. And then maybe you have 1 tomato in there. That's 2 servings. So you're already at 9 servings. And the reason I say 7 cups of lettuce is because if you're making the salad your main meal, your salad is, I don't have my bowl with me, but my salad bowl,
I was going to say, this is like, boom. Exciting.
Meal. That's your main food. So, you want to be full on it, or else you'll just be starving for the rest of the day. So then maybe you add in a cup of broccoli. Maybe you make a dressing that has some hemp seeds, and celery is actually a really good thing to blend into a dressing. You make your own, and it makes it creamy. So you can do it doesn't even have to be a high fat dressing. It can be a super low fat. The celery itself adds a lot of creaminess, but adds a lot of bulk to it. So it's not a super calorie dense dressing. You can add hemp seeds, celery, some lemon, garlic, salt, and blend that. That's super good. You're getting fruits and vegetables from the celery. You probably have a cup or 2 of celery in there. That's another 4 servings of fruits and vegetables that you can add into that 20 to 30 rule. So just by lunch, if you did that, you're already at 20. You could then go have your dinner and make it whatever you want. If you just do 2 raw meals a day, you hit in 20 servings of fruits and vegetables. You can just do that for a while and see how you feel. You are going to experience a lot of changes. And then if you want to hit the 30, then you go into your dinner. I like to recommend to people to do something that's familiar, like a pasta, but sub out the pasta for things like, I love zucchini noodles or cucumber noodles. For someone that's doing cooked, they could do like a whole half of a spaghetti squash. If you scoop that out, that makes a really good pasta. But I like to spiralize zucchini noodles. I also love to throw in kelp noodles into that. It's a really good combo, but that doesn't add any vegetables. They're just seaweed, it's good for you.
Yeah.
And so I have zucchini noodles as my base. I make an Alfredo sauce with like cashews, which is a substitute for the dairy. So you'll do cashews, some garlic, lemon, salt, maybe some black pepper. If you blend that up, it's going to be super creamy, super delicious, tastes just like Alfredo. And you pour that over the zucchini noodles, chop in some tomatoes, maybe red or white onion, add some more garlic, throw in some parsley for green, or chop up some spinach, and you have like this big bowl of pasta essentially. But you've just hit your 30 servings of fruits and vegetables in your day,
I love that. The way you said it, it sounded filling, because like whenever I've always thought, like, how could I not be starving to death after like a minute of this? But the way you just described it, I'm like, oh, okay, actually, that you're right. That does sound easy, and I would feel that would crowd out, the need for the other meals.
Yeah,
I think that's awesome. But thank you so much for sharing that with us. I think that's really useful for everyone listening, because it was for me. I was like, oh, like my brain, my wheels were turning in my brain. I was like, oh, okay, that's yes. Oh,
yes, and how many mouths are watering, right? My mouth is watering. I'm thinking, come over, like, come on over. Let's do that for dinner.
Yeah. Like, it's great to, if you're throwing a party, to bring something healthy and also delicious, and people love your food more than they eat all the other food. It's awesome. And the key is to just eat it in abundance. The FDA and MyPlate.gov recommends 7 to 9 servings per person per day for health. The average person gets 1 to 2 servings of, I think it's 0.9 servings of fruit and 1 to 2 servings of vegetables a day. So they're already significantly below the recommended levels. And that includes potatoes, and that includes iceberg lettuce. So, so those things, like, that means that the people who are getting 1 to 2 servings of vegetables, that probably means that they ate fries for breakfast that morning, and that counted as their serving. So, you know, and that might be where you're at. So it's just, I mean, but that person, you sub in a smoothie for your breakfast, and maybe you just do 1 raw meal a day, you're going to feel the benefits of that. If you're jumping from 0 to 10 a day, you're going to feel amazing. But then you want to feel even more amazing, just jump, you know, go into doing that for lunch, go into doing that for dinner. And then you start doing the fine tuning situations where, like, okay, what do I do at this wedding? How do I eat raw vegan traveling? Like, those are all secondary problems to just doing 95% of our meals are just in our homes or takeout. And how do you get your general day-to-day life, the bulk of it, into a healthy transition? And then you start worrying about the little complicated situations, which, you know, can be different for everyone. So no matter what direction you're coming from, whether you're eating just, you know, a little bit of meat or no meat at all, you know, wherever you're coming from, I love being able to get people to eat more fruits and vegetables and feel the vibration increase and healing.
Yeah. And I just want to recap this for everybody. So what Michelle is saying is she's experienced it herself. You can release weight and you can actually heal your body through these raw vegan foods in abundance. So not limiting, but actually going to abundance, having as much as you want, and not feeling. It's so many times I think people, when they think of healing their body, or they think cleansing, you know, just not being able to eat food at all and doing some kind of a juice cleanse or some kind of a fast. And then I think, you know, when people think about releasing weight, they think about all these limitations and being restricted and having to calorie count. And this isn't that. This is abundance, abundance, abundance. So just wanting to repeat those highlights, and just thinking of the people who are here. We're all talking about honoring our bodies, and some of the people here watching, maybe they're on a healing journey and they are trying to heal their body, or possibly on a journey to release weight, and they've gotten frustrated with that. So is there one thing for all, or specifically for either one, that you would say that you like to do that can help people with those things? Or what might be the first step?
I think for most people, the first step is the crowding out of the 20 to 30 rule, because they don't have to face cutting out something yet. Their body will naturally do that when it's ready. So all they have to do is focus on what they are putting in their body. I would like to say, if you're healing and you want it to go faster, then cutting out the things that are creating some of the suffering in your body can help a lot. But when you're ready to do that, you know, some people are ready, because, you know, I know that some people are ready, because I made a change at 23 years old, which is very young to make such a drastic health change, because I had already been sick for 18 years. And someone who's been sick for 18 years is ready to make whatever change it takes to not be sick anymore. Yeah. So if you're in your 50s and then you're just finally starting to have some health issues, you're ready to change at 50. And you might not get to the point of changing your diet until you have health issues. But I just know from personal experience that as soon as you start having health issues and start experiencing discomfort, and you're questioning what's happening, and you don't know how to change it, and you don't know the path to go, I know that place, and I know that feeling, and I know that those people are ready to do whatever it takes to get out of pain, to be thriving again, to access their best life that they've had before, and now it's being taken away from them. They don't want to be overburdened by extreme hospital bills. They don't want to be, you know, bedridden. They don't want to be unable to play with their grandchildren. They don't want to be on medications. So I just know, you know, the fastest way to do it is by cutting out certain foods that are possibly causing your health issues. For me, it was dairy.
Can I give a shout out to your juices? So for those people, a lot of people in the healing journeys do like to get into juicing, and Michelle has a lot of that. So check out some of her juices and her recipes out there for that too.
Yeah. Throwing in, doing a daily juice habit. I don't do a daily. I do kind of like weekly. Like I'll do like a juice every day for 7 days, and then I'll take a break, and then I'll do a juice every day. And I've done some juice feasting as well, where I just was drinking juice, and just that's an option for people, you know, if depending on the level of healing that you want to achieve and you need rapid healing, that can jumpstart you for sure. When people are ready, they're ready. If people are coming from a place of sickness, they're ready to cut out everything that doesn't serve them anymore and jump in and see the benefits. So, but there's a lot of grace for people who aren't ready yet. And it's probably because they haven't faced any health issues yet, and they're kind of thriving already. They're living life. If you're thriving, if you don't have any problems with your body, with your health, with your relationships or finances, or the way that you interact with your friends, anything like that, there's not a big reason to make changes if you're happy. But once you, and why make a change? It's working for you. So, you know, continue on doing that. But only, I know everybody that's ready to make a change, it's almost easy to be disciplined because the results are there, and the results are like, wow, I don't have, I remember I just did a live interview with someone who had made dietary changes, and she was saying how she wakes up every morning and she like flexes her fingers and there's no joint pain. And she's like, every day I wake up and I almost want to cry because I have no joint pain in my fingers anymore. And so it's easy to stay disciplined when every morning you wake up and you have the ability to use your hands and the ability to walk better. So that's why people are like, oh, it's so militant, it's so disciplined. How do you have so much self-control? But if you're coming from illness, which is a big reason for the path that I came on, if you're coming out of that, it was easy to be that way. It was almost a non-option. It's like, I don't really have a choice here. I either eat this way or I'm sick. Like, what am I going to do? So, yeah. So once you start feeling the health benefits, it's really easy to maintain because you're like, I feel so amazing. Why would I want to do anything else? And then you start diving into new recipes and finding out all these amazing foods you can make. And then you're like, wow, now I have options. Now I don't even ever need to stop at a fast food restaurant because I can make better food at home and I'm really happy with it. And it brings me a lot of pleasure. It's delicious. Now I don't really have, the bigger you build your kind of knowledge base around the lifestyle, the more recipes you have, the more skill set you have in encountering different situations, the more experience you have in it, the easier it is, because then you just know you've navigated this situation before, or you've made that recipe before and it's good and it's your go-to and it makes you happy and it makes you feel good instead of the other option, which maybe you had gone to take out in the past before, but it never made you feel good. So then it just becomes easier and easier over time.
I love that. What a beautiful message. Thank you so much for sharing it. Before we close out, I wanted to ask, do you have any like current promotions, anything that you'd like to shout out to our viewers here?
Yes. Right now I am doing private coaching one-on-one for weight loss, specifically through people who want to adapt a raw vegan lifestyle or high raw vegan lifestyle, but they're interested in the plant-based approach. And also for anyone just wanting a taste of what that is like, they can purchase my 21-day raw vegan meal plan. That's my favorite ebook that I have. It's over 100 recipes from 11 different countries. I packed it with flavor and variety, and it basically just covers all the recipes that would be your basics. There's a raw vegan bread recipe in there. There's a raw vegan cheese recipe in there. There's pizza, desserts, salads, dressings, smoothies, juices, substitutes for wine, substitutes for It's just full of substitutes because people need to know, like, I don't want to give this up. So, okay, we'll put a substitute in there. It's going to be a way better option for you. So it has a whole book associated with that on tips and tricks on how to start being raw, which I love. So I threw that in there. And then there's 4 ebooks. One of them is drinks and juices. One of them is salads and dressings. One of them is snacks and dinners. And the other one is desserts. So there's 4 ebooks in there, plus a how to start being raw vegan kind of guide with shopping lists and what to make on each day. It's just a really awesome starter kit. So I like to just tell people about that because it's a great way to just get your, dip your toes in the water, and then also coaching. But I also just really would like to tell people to go ahead and go to my bio in my Instagram, Michelle_Deborah, because there's the free weight loss guide. It really breaks down the 20 to 30 rule and gives you examples and what that looks like and gives you a lot more information about it. And it's completely free. So you can go to that. If you click on the link, it takes you to my weight loss community Facebook group where the guide is inside the group. So you can be a part of a whole weight loss community and get the free guide. So I like to tell people about that too.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing all of your knowledge and for having those free resources and, 21 days, right? We can do anything for 21 days. So that sounds like a lot that you've packed into that. And I look forward to looking into that more. And I hope all of you watching do as well. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you so much, you guys. This has been awesome. I'm so glad I got to share. I'm so glad I got to meet you both. It's been incredible. Thank you so much for what you do. You're really changing the world as well.
Yes. Thank you so much. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll say bye to all you beautiful people watching us, and tune in next time. And thank you so much for having us. Thanks for coming, Michelle. We really appreciate all the awesome knowledge and wisdom you're able to share.
So, thank you so much.
Continue honoring your body.
Mm-hmm. And thank you everyone for listening. That's just a treasure. So I'm so glad I got to be a part of it for a session.